Alright, so we are down at the river, Ehlers Park in Ozaki County specifically. And now I wish I would have brought my fishing poles, because the river is thawed out and it's high. I guess we all learn something every day. It's March, and I should have guessed that it was thawed out because it's been 50 degrees for the last week and a half. Alright, so it's getting to be that time of year again, where I start spending a ton of money my wife doesn't like on fishing stuff. So, I went and did that. Here's what we got. We got some weights. We got some drop shot weights, or I've been using sinkers the last couple years, but I decided to get actual weights for it. Then we have something called flipping weight. Those are for flipping rigs and stuff like that. This is the first year I'm using anything like that, so I am looking forward to that. And of course, I can't be using my hunting hat during fishing season, so I got a new hat, which I love. We'll hang this one up until fall. Alright, let's pop these open and take a closer look. One feature that I love about these weights and what Titan does is that they print the weight on the item. So let's see if I can get that here. I'll take a picture. That'll work better. But there's no more guessing or extreme organization of what your sinkers are. You'll always know what sponge you're grabbing because they always have the weight printed on them. Alright, so you've noticed the hat and the two sets of weights I have are from a company called Tungsten, which I'm happy to be part of their field staff. But that's not what drew me to them. What drew me to them is they make their weights out of tungsten, which this is the first year I'll be using tungsten, but I did that for one important reason. Let me show you. Alright, here we've got my old setup, which I used last year. And you can see right there, I've got my weight. So let's angle it here. Sometimes you just can't keep things right. Alright. So how this works, this isn't my thing. I found it somewhere. You put a swivel here, and then your hook, and your bait goes on the hook. And you slide it down, and then the bait is always touching the bottom, and this thing moves in the current wherever it goes. I use this for the river where we live, and it works great. Alright, so if you remember what I showed you a couple seconds ago, it's got the weight on the bottom, and then a swivel, and then the hook and the bait above that. And what's benefit about here is obviously it's a river. You can see it has current. The swivel and the bait is able to move along the current and look super natural. And because there's a weight on the bottom, it stays in the water. It doesn't float away with the current. And the bait also has the added bonus of kicking up stuff on the bottom. But that being said, if you're like me, I like to think of myself as not an awful fisherman, but maybe I lose a lot of sinkers and a lot of hooks. So that means all of the lead sinkers are at the bottom of a river or the lake where we go. What's wrong with having lead weights and sinkers at the bottom of a river? Lead poisoning. Not for us, but for birds. I fish a lot up north. There's loons, they're my favorite birds. And what happens is they scoop the lead sinkers up with like pebbles to digest their food, and then they have lead poisoning. We cut lead out in our paints and our toys a long time ago, way before I was born, because we realized it was bad. So why should we subject our wildlife that we love watching? That's why I'm making the switch to tungsten. Because when I lose them, it's not going to matter to the birds. They're just going to digest them like any other pebble. I use this rig for Asian carp. It's an invasive species that nobody loves, so people don't fish for them that often. But they're fun to catch. They put up a fight, and since I caught all my eating fish ice fishing this winter, I don't have to worry about that. So it's fun. I've also heard that Asian carp does taste good. When I catch one, I might try it. I don't know.